Jen, going over to you, how do you compare your mindset pre-RPA citizen developer to now, and how you're approaching business and your tasks?
So I think getting involved in UiPath has really changed my way of thinking about processes and steps in place for various tasks I have at hand. So whenever I get tasked with a new project, instead of my usual method, I'll just get at it. I think of all the similarities that I have with existing projects, and then with that thought process in mind, I'm thinking, hey, how can I automate this? So like just have each process has been different so far, but trying to identify those common similarities and create an automation process that will not only help my new process at hand, but future processes as well if I have similarities with previous ones. So it's interesting because it makes me think of things differently. Instead of working harder, we're working smarter, right? So how are we making it more efficient for any task I have?
Awesome. I'm hearing themes here across the different responses of moving from task-based thinking to systems thinking, moving from treating each thing as a discrete activity to looking at the commonalities across the different types of work that you're doing. Am I reaching, or is that what you've been experiencing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's interesting because, during the first phases of UiPath development, my skills were only so much, right? So you start building simple bots, and then you realize how much more you can add on to that process. So not only you're building new bots, you're expanding to old bots to help create the system even more efficient down the line and do more. So yeah, it's been cool.
I don't know if I can jump in here, but that's something that I see as a great value point also, is that as particularly citizen developers are able to develop their bots, they end up with a different view of the process that they've automated. And at some point you were like, man, I was adding X, Y, and Z information to my process. And now that I've freed up 80% more bandwidth, maybe I can actually afford to put in other information that I hadn't been able to do before because it would have just been too much, and we just took what the bare minimum that we needed to get the job done. And now we've taken an added value to that existing process just because we could afford to through automation.
Right. So that initial simple bot was able to save us X amount of time. And with that time, because we have that time freed up, we can even develop more time to expand that bot to do even more for us.